Okay, this is Bill Gibbs, your host, and we are ready to start. I have 1 o'clock Eastern Time and noon for me here in the Austin, Texas area. I'd like to welcome all of our faculty who are joining us, as well as our guest Samantha. I fully anticipate we'll have a few others join us as we go along, but we want to cover this material. We are recording it so that it will be available to those who missed the session immediately today, and we'll be able to catch it up later. All right. Now, it is June 28th. We're glad to have you on board with us. Let's talk a little bit about the agenda that we'll be covering today. First, we'll talk about 7 reasons to consider capital, kind of an underlying what makes us very special. Then we'll talk about our masters and certificates that are offered in a very broad overview. And then we'll come back and have each faculty member who leads those areas to present a more in-depth overview of their particular programs. When we have finished all of the faculty presentations, then we will go to answer the question, how long does it take and how does it all work? We'll cover tuition and financial aid. We'll look at the next steps that you need to take to pursue a degree with us, and we'll answer questions all at the end. Now, I want to mention that we will also take questions at the conclusion of each faculty session, each faculty portion, because we want to make sure that your questions are answered directly by that. You can pose your question via the text chat, and we will be watching it and monitoring it and answer the question as it comes up at the end of each one of the faculty presentations. And then we'll open the floor again at the very end for any question from any presenter or having to do with the application process and so forth. Again, I'd like to welcome everyone for being here, and the session is being recorded. Let's go ahead and get started. 7 reasons to consider capital. Now, you can read each one of these, but let me just glance on them briefly. Our master's degrees are online with minimal or no residency requirements. They're student-centered. We're a small institution. Faculty will get to know you by name and are deeply committed to our success. Your success is our success, and so we want you to do well in our programs. We have a vibrant and growing alumni network, particularly in many of the technical areas that we cover in this program today. It's important to know that we search the world for the very leading faculty who can teach that. Most of our faculty we do have full-time faculty as well, but we seek out adjuncts who are experts in their field and are also qualified to teach the courses so that you are being taught by people who are practitioners of the art. Our students are very much like you. They're working professionals who want to enhance their career options with a master's degree. We're a nonprofit, private, accredited university, physically based in Laurel, Maryland. When the COVID virus is over, we invite you to visit the campus and see it for yourself. But we have a global faculty and a global student body. And we have award-winning degree programs, and I want to touch on those very briefly. Let me let Bay get in. Earlier this year, we were awarded the prestigious SC Media Award for the best cyber education program in the United States. And we're very proud of this. And it represents not only cybersecurity, but it really represents the depth of all of our programs and the quality of everything that we bring to the table across the university. This is very important. We're ranked as the ranked number one in the national list of master's programs that are online. And so you can be assured of the quality. And just recently, our aviation programs were recognized as we became a member of the Royal Aeronautical Society, which interestingly enough is the oldest aeronautical and aviation related society in the world. It is based in England, and it actually precedes aviation. Back when they first got into balloons is when they first started the Royal Aeronautical Society. I mentioned the award-winning universities. We've been recognized both at the U.S. Senate level and at the Maryland House of Delegates for our award-winning programs. What makes us special? A lot of different reasons, and you can read them here, but I want to particularly point out that we are partners with the National Defense University, with IEEE, with the National Cryptologic School and the Maryland National Guard. We're a Center for Cyber Research and Analysis, and we're a GI Yellow Ribbon school, which is very important when you consider paying for your education if you are a veteran. We're a military-friendly school. And this is really one of the last slides having to do with what makes Capital special. And we have faculty members and administrators who could talk much more eloquently about this than I could. But let me just mention that we bring 90 years plus of experience to the table in technology. We've been around for a long, long time. We were the first to develop a graduate program in what is now called cybersecurity. We were the first to offer that degree online. We've been a leader on online education for a long time. We have full accreditation both regionally, which is the highest level of accreditation in the United States, and specialized accreditation for various degrees. And as I mentioned earlier, we're a National Center of Academic Excellence in Cyber Defense Education. Now let's switch gears completely and talk a little bit about how master's programs at Capital are rolled out. There are 3 semester, 2 terms per semester. So there's a fall, spring, and summer. Each one has term 1 and term 2, and each term is 8 weeks long. These are asynchronous courses, which allow you to take the courses whenever you want. There are a few exceptions to that, but in the main, we have a direct one-on-one relationship that is developed with the faculty member. This is an overview of the programs that we offer at the master's degree. I'm not going to go over each one since that's what the faculty will do in just a moment, but you'll notice they run the gamut literally from A to U, from aviation to unmanned systems, and with specializations in cybersecurity and many other fields. We also offer 6 post-baccalaureate certificates. So if you already have your bachelor's degree but are not interested in a master's this time, or even have a master's, these post-baccalaureate certificates may be available to you. Well, with that, we're now ready for me to stop talking and let our faculty presenters come on board. We're going to be starting with Dr. William Butler, and I'm going to give him mic privileges, and I will operate the slides on his behalf. Go ahead, Dr. Butler.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Again, I'm Dr. Bill Butler. I run the cybersecurity programs at Capital, the bachelor's and the master's. I'm going to talk about the Master of Science in Cybersecurity and the Master of Science in Cyber Analytics. As Bill said earlier, we are a center of academic excellence in cyber defense. We were designated that in the second group of schools back in 2003, and we have redesignated 3 times since then, and we're up for redesignation again. And I'll talk a little bit about what this means on the next slide. Next slide, Bill. What that means is that our program has been fully mapped to this the standard, the content that NSA and Department of Homeland Security have deemed necessary. It was a project by NSA to actually grow the workforce that they needed to recruit. They were very concerned that cybersecurity education was not being addressed at the end of the 2000s, so they created this program for that. And our program, having been newly created, already met those criteria. Therefore, we were in the first groups of schools to be designated. So the master's program itself in cybersecurity, it is a 36 to 39 credit program. The 39 credit program is for those who are coming from other career fields related, sometimes unrelated to cybersecurity. We have a couple of leveler courses that you can take to give you the basic skills to successfully make it through the rest of the program. The 36 credit option is for those who are already cybersecurity professionals. In this program itself, the reason these programs, cybersecurity, what was noted by those awards and those designations is because of the faculty. Our faculty are practicing cybersecurity professionals. They defend the networks every day, and they bring that experience into the classroom to share with students. Very valuable to have the faculty that we do. We're very lucky to have the faculty that we do, by the way, because they're very busy people, as you know, as we move into the COVID-19 era, and we're working more distributed. We have become a more lucrative target for hackers because they know we're working from home, but help us on the way in that area with more defense tools that you can employ at home. And the government has already deploying a suite that government workers can use at home to do classified work, to do top secret. Some of those products will be coming to us as well. So we teach adversarial thinking. What does that mean? That means you can't defend against hackers if you don't think like a hacker. So we teach you defense, but towards the end of the program, we also teach you offensive-minded, how to use a tool to defend and attack. This is very important for our professionals to know that today, again, it's a new age with distributed operations, making us more lucrative target, sometimes a more easy target because you are separated from your enterprise. We use the Nist, the National Institute of Standards and Technologies. We use their risk management framework, which is adopted by the government and the private sector, to teach you how to identify, protect against, to react, to respond, and to recover from an attack. This is a basic cycle that happens every day, as a matter of fact, in any enterprise. You're constantly monitoring your install base because your status changes from minute to minute as adversaries are constantly trying to scan your networks, constantly looking for a weakness, and you're constantly trying to shore up your defenses. So you'll learn that process and all the different tools and the laws that pertain to what we do. Again, we're fully mapped to the standard, and also in addition to that, we're fully mapped to the 8 domains of the CISSP, which is the credential of choice for experienced cybersecurity professionals. Some of you, if you're in the audience today and you're not in cybersecurity yet, these are some of the job titles that you can take on after you complete the degree. And a cybersecurity analyst is one of them, where you're constantly, again, looking at your install base, analyzing your software, analyzing your hardware, and looking at the data constantly, looking for signs of breach or weakness. Cybersecurity consultant, after you've had a few years on your belt, you can form your own company, or you can work within one of these large Fortune 500 companies that used to be the big 8 accounting firms, PwC, Accenture, and work as a consultant within those consultancies. A pen tester and vulnerability tester, you're out there trying to break into your own networks, which a lot of the undergraduates like to go after this one, but they can't do it yet because you need experience. So once you have some experience on your belt, you can actually use that adversarial thinking to try to test the defenses of your network. Cybersecurity manager, sometimes called a CISO, a cyber information security administrator. That is officer, CISO. That is what we aim for in this industry. Everyone wants to be a CISO at some point, being the top cybersecurity executive within your company, operating in the C-suite or directly under the CIO, depending on the organization. Cybersecurity engineer, you help to create the defenses that we need to defend networks. You're the one out there creating the firewall rules. You're out there creating more hardware that we can implement in our network to protect us from the adversary. And cybersecurity architect, you have a view of the entire network. This is kind of at the top of the food chain, where you're looking at the enterprise from an enterprise level. Sometimes global companies, multinationals, you have a global view of the network, and that's the way you think to protect against a myriad of adversaries that are global. And cybercrime is a global enterprise. It knows no borders, therefore you must think that way. We'll go on to the next Masters in Cyber Analytics. So this is the newest Masters that we have in cybersecurity, and it has to do with we have lots of data. And when I say lots of data, that's a huge understatement. We generate terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of data that is generated by workstations. Every device on the network generates data that goes into a log. Our job is to examine that data to determine if we can find evidence of breach or scanning, or sometimes we have the insider threat. We have employees who do things intentionally or unintentionally that we must be able to detect and respond to. This is called continuous monitoring, which is required. The federal government requires agencies to continuously monitor their networks 24/7. Therefore, they have a security operations center. That way, they know their security posture every minute of the day almost. They know what condition they're under. So this program is a 36 credit program. It has 8 cyber courses that are the same core courses as the MS in cybersecurity. In addition to that, instead of having 4 electives, there are 4 cyber analytics courses. Some of what they learn in these courses are how to use the different programming languages, scripting languages, and tools that are required. Again, we have so much data, there is no way a human can analyze so much data manually. So we need processes. We need languages like Python and R, and tools like Splunk and Elastic, and machine learning and artificial intelligence are becoming very important in what we do. So cybersecurity professionals need to know one or several of these tools in order to be effective and to be able to, again, to detect them. You can't respond to an attack if you can't detect it, and you can't detect it through the human eye. You must have tools that have alerts to help you with that. So some of the jobs that are be available for students that go through this program, you can be a data analyst. Some of these jobs sound like the same types of professions if you became a data scientist or data analyst, and that's true, except we are going to apply these tools specifically to cybersecurity. So you see the job title, cybersecurity analyst. You are focusing on data generated for cybersecurity purposes. And the last is the SOC analyst. Security Operations Center is a 24/7 operations center that has all the information. They're doing all the analysis, and they're the ones that will send you a text or give you that hot phone call if you're the boss to tell you, hey boss, there's something wrong here, there's something going on, we need to respond, I need your authorization to shut the network down or respond to this, or reach out to the FBI or reach out to NSA, because what we're seeing here it doesn't look good. So these are some of the this is not all of the specialties, but it's some of them that you can go into. So we feel like with these 2 degrees, you have 2 options here to pursue so slightly different careers in cybersecurity. And if you have more questions about these, next slide, Bill, you have my contact information that you can get a hold of me, and we can have for further discussions. And I will hand it back over to Bill.
Thank you very much. Let's take, as I mentioned earlier, after each of the faculty presentations, we will go ahead and see if there's any questions. So, and do that via the text chat. If there are any questions, go ahead and pop them in right now in the text chat, and we'll answer them on the spot. If not, we'll move on. So I'll give 15 or 20 seconds to see if anyone has a question, and then we'll move on. Okay, I don't see any questions at this time. Again, we'll circle back at the end and you can ask questions, and keep in mind that at any time you could ask your questions in the text chat. All right, let's move on to Dr. Richard Baker, who will be discussing a number of different fields. So Dr. Baker, please take it away.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Hello, I'm Dr. Richard Baker. I'm the director of the master's programs at Capital Technology. My background includes a career in the corporate world, one in the military, also with the U.S. Air Force, and then I spent 11 years after that teaching at the university level in aviation and unmanned and autonomous systems and construction management. So I have a varied career. I can help students get through our programs and be prepared for a successful and rewarding career in their future. That Capital Technology, we have 3 excellent degree programs in the area of business administration, and these are the Master of Business Administration, the MBA, and 2 what we call TMBAs, the Technical Master of Business Administration in Business Analytics and Data Sciences, and the Technical Master of Business Administration in Cybersecurity. And I saw that Samantha is interested in the TMBA in Business Analytics and Data Science, so we'll cover that too. Next slide, Bill. Okay, this is the first degree is I'll talk about is the MBA. It's a traditional MBA and supports professionals that are wanting to qualify for a senior management and leadership position in either industry or in government or someplace. And it provides a practical, broad-based education in management, and it requires a completion of 36 to 39 degree or 39 credits. It is accredited by the IACBE, which is the International Assembly for Collegiate Business Education. And the focus of the coursework and educational program is to develop your leadership skills and enhance your understanding of technology and of technology innovation. And you'll use a lot of case studies and research projects and learn about and analyze opportunities with real-world research experiences. And this program is flexible, and it allows you to tailor the courses to meet your professional needs or to follow a predefined concentration. The core courses for the MBA include things like fundamentals of professional management, financial management, contract management, organizational behavior, marketing process and strategy, things like personnel management, managerial economics, strategic management, and then you have on top of that three credit courses, which electives. So 3 electives for 9 credit hours. Those 3 courses may be taken from a list that are approved by the department, or any 3 graduate level courses from the capital inventory with departmental permission. That's the director's permission. So as I said earlier, this degree requires completion of 39 degrees. You see a note there at the bottom. If you have either a recent undergraduate business degree, which means completed within the past 5 years, or relevant professional experience in the business area, you may have MBA 600 waived and complete the degree in 36 credits, and that's how that works. Next slide, please. Okay, this is a slide on specializations, and you can use the 3 electives to create a specialization within your MBA by taking 3 courses in one of those following areas there: the aviation cybersecurity, construction safety, critical infrastructure cybersecurity, data analytics, engineering technology, and unmanned and autonomous systems. These 3 electives then allow you an opportunity to explore an area of interest and in a particular discipline that you may be interested in, or you may choose 3 courses from any one of them and become knowledgeable about some place you may wish to work. We talk about each of these areas of specialization in the respective master's programs, and Dr. Butler just talked about cybersecurity in his previous presentation. In addition, you may choose any 3 courses from the master's degrees as long as they're approved, as I said, by the director of master's programs. And we believe at Capital that this provides a unique opportunity for you to start your subject matter expertise early in your career, along with what you're learning about business, and it sets Capital apart from other universities. Next slide, Bill. These next 2 degrees are the Technical Master of Business Administration, the TMBA, and Business Analytics and Data Sciences, and the one in Cybersecurity. These both require completion of 36 credits, 39 credits if you don't qualify for the MBA 600 waiver like I talked about. You may choose either one of these. This shows the the TMBA in business analytics that prepares you to interpret real world data and be prepared to make strategic business recommendations. And TMBA in security or cybersecurity prepares you then to recognize and analyze patterns that are going on in the real world and employ tools to be able to help formulate and drive business decisions in the cybersecurity field and help the business area. Both degrees follow a course set of traditional MBA courses from the MBA degree. The difference in the MBA and the TMBA, which you'll be interested in, Samantha, is the replacement of marketing, process and strategy, and managerial economics, and the 3 elective courses in the MBA are dropped. And you pick up impact of emerging technology and 4 courses then in data sciences or 4 courses in cybersecurity for the appropriate degree. And in your area would be the data sciences and business analytics. And as a professional for tomorrow's management positions, you'll be prepared to contribute effectively in a technology-enabled workplace and understand how to leverage processes and systems and data to create business value to your corporation. And titles of jobs are like, you can eventually you'll enter things like cybersecurity manager or administrator, a data analyst, an information manager, starting in salaries somewhere between $65,000 and $85,000. And you will eventually get to a place like an executive cybersecurity manager or an executive officer of the company, which would be a CEO or a COO or a CIO. That would be executive officer or operations officer or informations officer. And those salaries range from anywhere from $125,000 to $150,000 and on up, depending on the organization that you're in. So there are vast opportunities, but a lot of entry areas to get into and a lot of demand. Next slide, please. Okay, now I'm talking about 2 excellent degrees here in the area of aviation, and I'm speaking to you about them because I have a successful degree or a successful career in the Air Force, and then spent 11 years, like I said, talking about aviation and unmanned and autonomous systems before I came to Capitol. The Master of Science in Aviation is designed to meet the growing needs of today's business and government environments where aviation is now becoming a major business consideration. In this program, you are introduced to the latest technology and the developments and applications thereof. And how do you consider those for use in the aviation industry? How are they applied to real life industry challenges? You become prepared for advanced management and leadership positions throughout the industry and related businesses, and even in governmental agencies that use aviation. And you'll learn to analyze patterns and drive business decisions in the use of strategic technology in business and aviation, which you're introduced to that technology through this program. And then when you graduate, you can choose from a wide variety of job titles and managerial roles in the world of aviation. Aviation administrators or graduates of this program may be able to work for an airline, design or manage airports, hold higher level positions in airport security, work in the Federal Aviation Administration, or even inspect and evaluate aircraft. Although the term refers to managers and administrators, and many divisions within the world of aviation, aviation administrators or managers work for corporate airlines. And in these positions, managers are often responsible for managing the budgets, employing people, marketing, and other administrative duties, all of which are essential to the success of the airline or any other profitable business in the aviation. And titles and salaries range from start and entry level at $50,000 to an air traffic manager at $95,000, airport managers up to $85,000 and higher, aviation planning consultants at $80,000 to $95,000, all the way up to airline operations managers or chief of operations, which can range from anywhere from $90,000 to $150,000, depending on the organization they're in. So lots of opportunity out there in the world. Next slide, please. This is the MBA or the MS in Science, Master of Science, excuse me, and Master of Science in Aviation Cybersecurity. And this degree is new and exciting field that is critically important to the aviation industry. It is an area that's just beginning to be understood, and how the importance is growing is exponential. This degree does require completion of 36 credits, and in it you gain the ability to integrate business and decision-making skills in the complex environment of aviation cybersecurity and aviation business. And you'll learn to apply cutting-edge skills in cybersecurity, in management and technology to everyday work situations in the industry, wherever that is. Wherever data is used, that's where cybersecurity will be in this industry. Graduates that are interested in a career in aviation cybersecurity may choose from a wide variety of job titles. Then the term aviation cybersecurity refers specifically to cybersecurity within the aviation industry, and has many different managerial roles, but the titles and salaries align much the same as the ones were talked about by Dr. Butler in the Master of Science in Cybersecurity. A lot of opportunities out there. So aviation cybersecurity specialists may work in the information and security aspects of airports, of the Federal Aviation Administration, of air traffic control centers and towers, airline information security, financial data, or even the handling and security of aircraft data, both airborne and on the ground. Ticketing, scheduling, many more areas. Anywhere data and computers or networks, information technology is used in aviation, you'll find aviation cybersecurity. This is one of the most critically important and rapidly expanding fields in the world. Next slide, please. The Master of Science in Unmanned and Autonomous Systems Policy and Risk Management. This degree is designed to meet the growing needs of today's business and government environments, where unmanned systems and autonomous systems are now a major business consideration, and these are used in all areas of air, land, or water with mobile vehicles. And this degree provides an advanced graduate level management education, where the latest unmanned system concepts are reviewed and analyzed with an intense focus. This program covers the latest technological developments, the applications, the sensors, the practices, everything in the unmanned systems industry. And you'll learn about risks and risk management in the areas of autonomy and unmanned and driverless vehicles of all types. We see at Capitol that this is a degree that is unique. Most organizations, most universities are not focusing as much on the risk and risk mitigation as we do here, because we think that's a critical information area for all managers of unmanned systems and autonomous systems. So the gathering and the storing and transmission and processing of data and the risk associated with this privacy and sensitivity are covered in sensors and data, and is a critical aspect for all managers. Individuals interested in a career in unmanned and autonomous systems may choose from a wide variety of job titles, again, in industry and government. And first responders are one of the fastest growing groups who are demanding the support of this technology. And you may enter the field in an area as an operator or a flyer or a driver or a sensor operator or a data analyst or a maintainer or any kind of thing. And again, the titles and salaries vary. You can go from entry level at anywhere from $40,000 as a beginning operator to $150,000. This data analysts and scientists are, again, mid-range around $95,000. Systems managers are around $75,000 to $80,000. A director of safety may be $85,000, and UAS operators vary, again, from the entry level of $40,000 to over $100,000. So a lot of opportunity out there, and you can eventually make it to a UAS fleet operations director, making $125,000 to $150,000. So the world is wide open, and it's just a challenge to grab on and hang on to. It'll be a wonderful career for you. So next slide, please. Oh, that was it.
All right,
right.
sorry
Any
about that. I
questions?
was
That's all right.
one slide behind.
That's
Any
all right.
questions for Dr. Baker about any of the programs that he's just covered? Okay, let's move on. And
Samantha has.
oh, I'm sorry,
said that.
Samantha's okay. My research shows that Capital seems to have a good reputation in the market in regards to cyber and aviation. I wasn't able to find much feedback from graduates to the TMBA. How have graduates in business analytics been received by employers in the marketplace?
Okay, that one is easy to answer because, Samantha, this is a new program. And to my knowledge, I don't think we've had anybody graduate from it yet. But the feedback so far from the students and what they're looking into the field has been very positive. So yes, it's a brand new program.
All right, thank you. And again, as questions come up, we'll come back to them. But we will continue to move on. Thank you very much, Dr. Baker. We now go to Dr. Brad Sims, who will be covering construction safety and the critical infrastructure.
Thanks, Bill. Welcome everyone. Thanks for coming out on Sunday for our master's degree programs overview. My name is Brad Sims. I have a background in project management, building industrial facilities before I got into higher education. And as part of that work experience, I also had some IT responsibilities. So please go to the next slides, Bill. So construction safety, our MS degree in construction safety is going in for what's called a QAP approval from the Board of Certified Safety Professionals. It's going in soon. So once it is QAP approved, that means that any graduate from the master's degree in construction safety will receive the graduate safety professional certification upon graduation, which waives the level 1 associate safety professional certification. So graduates can start off with that level 1 waived and work towards their full certified safety professional, which is the gold standard in the safety industry. And the construction safety as a career path is tremendous, multiple job opportunities, not only working for a construction company, but also working for state agencies that oversee safety for construction and OSHA related jobs. Next slide. We also offer a master's degree in critical infrastructure. And not listed here, we have a new master's degree in construction cybersecurity as well. But the master's degree in critical infrastructure really is tied into our award-winning master's degree in cybersecurity. Many of the classes in the beginning are similar, and then it goes into more specifics about critical infrastructure. So with the Department of Homeland Security has identified 16 sectors of critical infrastructure that we worry about as a nation that we want to protect from foreign entities attacking them. And of those 16 sectors, many of those sectors include industrial facilities. Be something such as a refinery, wastewater treatment facility, power plant, a manufacturing facility, a dam, electrical grid, transportation. So in these industrial facilities, they have common technology that can be attacked that we talk about, which is OT, operational technology, which is different slightly than information technology. So if you're in one of these manufacturing facilities, a piece of equipment is operated now by operational technology. In the old days, it was operated manually, then became pneumatic. So it really wasn't on the grid, but now that everything is digitally controlled via operation technology that tells something such as a valve, which is common in all those facilities, to turn on and off at certain times, it is connected to the internet. So it is a attack point that we want to protect from a foreign entity stopping our production of any of those type of facilities. So that's just one example. So an operational technology that tells the industrial control system to turn that device on and off, it is designed to operate that piece of equipment no matter what, to keep it running. IT that connects everything is designed to stop and save data, and it doesn't want to have data loss. So you can see if you're just in the IT, you're not necessarily protecting the specifics of the equipment that's operated by the OT. So under the critical infrastructure emphasis in this master's degree program, it goes hand in hand with cybersecurity. So a graduate would be either working probably in the cyber end at one of these industrial facilities, or working directly for a company that helps protect the operational technology for one of these industrial companies that keeps the United States running, our economy flowing. We also offer a master's degree now in construction cybersecurity. In that, it has many of the cybersecurity classes, which construction was slow to understand that they can be attacked. And they do have a wide attack platform in cybersecurity, in the fact that many construction companies have multiple offices, both temporary offices when they're building projects to their home offices. They use multiple software programs to manage projects from large scale to small scale. The attacks on construction companies on their cyber and ransomware and things like that have continued to increase. And so while they traditionally have large IT departments, our new master's degree in construction cybersecurity covers a lot of the cybersecurity skills that we use, but also the types of IT and software that we use in the construction industry. Next slide. So that's those three programs. If you have any questions, there's there's an email there. You can get a hold of me. I'm happy to answer anything, or in the chat room.
All right, thank you very much. And we will now move on to Dr. Naif Abu Agil, and he will discuss the Master of Engineering Technology.
Hello, everyone. My name is Naif Abu Agil. I'm the chair of the engineering programs at Capitol. My background is in electrical engineering, and I worked in the industry for a long time, then in academia also for a probably equally long time. I will talk today about our Master of Engineering Technology, which is 30 credits. Next slide, please. Now, engineering technology, as you know, in technology is now in every aspect of our lives, and there is a lot of demand because for people who understand engineering technology. So in our degree here, what we give our students a practical, hands-on, experience and understanding of systems. And they look, when they look at technology and systems, or technology-based systems, they will look at them from a perspective of how they are designed, how they are tested, how they are manufactured, and their reliability. So they look from all this foundational aspect. So you get to have really a depth of understanding, as well as a high perspective, of what's going on in an organization. Our curriculum consists of 30 credits. 18 of them you have to take required courses. And there's 6 capstone courses and 6 credits of capstone, 2 courses. And we have 6 credits of electives, or 2 courses basically. Now, the required courses give you a very good understanding, as I said, of the technology that's used, and you look at it from a system level, basically. In addition, you get to learn also about how to manage the system, and how to, from the management perspective. So we have few courses that give you that, and give you also a taste of emerging technologies too. Now, for the elective courses, since we have many other programs here at Capitol at the master's level, you could take your electives, for example, in cybersecurity, which is would be a good choice for some people, or you could go to computer science, or you could take it in infrastructure, or critical infrastructure, or in any other discipline that you feel that it's basically important for your role or for the career path that you are taking. Now, we offer these classes and our capstone. I want to talk about our capstone. Our capstone is unique because our students, I give you an example what we have done over 2 to 3 years lately in our capstone, where our students, team up with a company, and it was in that case a startup, where they, in that capstone, they write a proposal, submit it to the startup. They look at it quickly. All of this happens in one semester. They look at it. That was actually a 16-long semester. Now we have 8-week-long semester. And then they got actually over a period of 2 years, the students will get actually given money to work on an issue or a design. And then they submit their results at the end of the semester and they get some feedback. So that was really a very unique experience. And now we offer our classes in asynchronous format, which means that you could do them at your pace at any time you like, and in 8-week format. So in this case, you could take a course at a time, or you could take 2 courses at a time, depending on how on your availability. Next slide, please. Now, for engineering technology, it's a rapidly growing field, and it's growing at a 13% growth rate, yearly growth rate through 2026. And the median salary is around 82 or 83K. Now, there are here we list some of the, some of the career paths, but this is not only it. There are many other career paths that take advantage of this degree. Like here we have engineering technologist, and we have engineering specialist and lead engineering specialist, and you see the salaries for these specialties. So it's to sum it up, it's a highly growing field, and it's important because it's in every aspect of our lives, and it's really needed for many employers, this kind of profession. And next slide, please. If you need to contact me, if you have any questions or to set up an appointment, please, you can reach me via email or phone number. Thank you very much. Back to you, Bill.
Thank you so much. All right. We come to our last faculty presenter, Dr. Robert Steele, who will talk about the Master of Science in Computer Science. Dr. Robert Steele, over to you.
Thank you, Bill. As Bill mentioned, my name is Dr. Steele. I'm the chair of computer science. So I'll only talk about one program, which is the Master of Computer Science, and kind of by way of how that fits into people's career paths. Either we have students who've studied in some other disciplinary area and want to get into the computer science field, or we have students who've studied computer science related at the undergraduate and want to go to a more advanced level in the masters. So, the reasons pursuing expertise in computer science are quite substantial. I will talk about a few of the career paths and opportunities here, but I think everyone has an intuitive appreciation of the role of computer science in what we're doing. For example, this system that we're using here, Zoom, is largely built by computing expertise. It requires the ability to create the software, to do the streaming, to manage the data caching, the networking. So it's just one example, but basically many of the significant systems that we use now and where a lot of economic activity relates to are based on computer science skills. I was just commenting to our admissions department the other day, an interesting fact, 7 of the world's 10 largest market cap companies are in fact computer science based companies. You know their names, such as Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and various others, some of them you may not have heard of. So what this means for students wishing to get into these areas is that leaving aside those sort of heady levels, there is a lot of interesting career paths that grow from the computer science knowledge. Broadly speaking, there's kind of maybe 4 broad components of knowledge you need to have to build these systems, to be an expert in computer science. That is ranging from software skills up to very advanced software skills. And I mean, just to comment, that ranges from being able to write a simple program to being able to program an exascale computer. So the current computing systems have reached the speeds of basically 1 billion times your standard PC, also called exascale, 10 to the 18, and also in terms of storage of data. So understanding how to build small systems and very significantly large systems as used in web companies. Similarly, managing data from the small amounts. A small company may handle gigabytes of data. Large organizations, large applications can even involve exabytes again. There is understanding of networking capabilities, ranging from standard networking up to kind of applications like warehouse scale computers, the type of computing systems that sit at the back of, for example, AWS Cloud. And the fourth one, which is the one you probably heard about in the media, which is learning systems, okay? So the ability to do machine learning and artificial intelligence, basically systems which use vast quantities of data to produce new things, okay, to find new relations. And of course, these are extremely kind of high profile roles, but these are all kind of sub-factors or sub-components of computer science. So just to mention some of these career paths, I'll make this very brief here. You may or may not have heard of machine learning engineer. These are statistics of average pay from well-known job site Glassdoor. We're talking about 121,000 average. These jobs are truly, if you're excellent in this area, also called an artificial intelligence engineer, it is far higher than that. Maybe if you're not excellent, it would be below that median. But for excellent programmers in this space, kind of the sky's the limit. Software engineer, something that's needed in pretty much every sector, every company these days, a vast number of those jobs, also highly well remunerated. Data scientist, again, to understand that, you really bring machine learning skills together with an understanding of the business problem at hand, okay? And that's a sophisticated problem, but you need to bring those two components together. So also a very famously recognized career path. And the ideal preparation for that is, in fact, computer science, interestingly enough. Data engineer, these are the people that handle large-scale data storage, integration, aggregation. Often that feeds into data scientist efforts, but it's needed for all the sorts of exciting companies I've talked about. Software engineering manager, as you rise up the ranks, managing large-scale software projects. An enterprise architect is an individual who understands the overall systems architecture within an organization, both software, hardware, potentially artificial intelligence components as well. Bill, could you skip on to the next slide? Thank you. So that was the kind of the broad picture of what computer science knowledge can gain you. Within our program, it is relatively advanced. It builds from what should be a fairly solid computer science basis of knowledge you already have. If you don't have that, I'm happy to discuss with you how best to segue into this program. But as per the 4 areas I've described broadly in computer science, it starts with a basic understanding of software, data, networking, and machine learning, and builds up along those various dimensions. It has 2 explicit streams, one being on data science. So if you wanted to be a machine learning engineer, data scientist, you should take that stream, and that obviously emphasizes learning machines, machine learning, all of these types of concepts in a far more advanced level than you'll get in an undergraduate degree, and the software engineering stream, which is basically pushing the individual who understands basic programming and understands how to write some simple code further along the continuum towards how do you build large systems at scale, web scale applications, applications that can handle much larger quantities of data. So both, basically the further you develop your skills in both of those fields, the more invaluable you are in the industry. And in fact, you become a very kind of rare professional, valuable professional. Next slide, thank you, Bill. So that's short and sweet. That is my contact details there, RJ Steele at captechu.edu, and my number. Feel free, if you have any questions, just to email me. I'll be happy to explain how that program may relate to your interests. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Steele. I appreciate that. We are approaching the end of our presentation. Again, I want to remind everyone that if you want to type in a question at any time, we will circle back to the appropriate faculty member to answer those questions. But let me move on and talk about some logistics dealing with any master's degree that we offer. How long does it take? It is designed to be part-time. Most people complete their degree in 2 to 4 years. If you want to complete it full-time, of course, you could do that. There are 3 semesters per year. And typically taking 2 courses per semester, each of those courses being 8 weeks long, you would complete a 36 credit program in 2 years. Factor in 10 to 12 hours of coursework per week per course. It's not easy. No, absolutely not. Good things never are, but it's certainly a highly credible degree and doable. How does it work? Depending on the program and course, you'll meet either synchronously, that is the same time each week in a live virtual environment, much like what we're doing right here, or asynchronously using Canvas, and we will work when you want within the week and turn in the work at the end of the class week. Most of the courses are asynchronous. There are no residency requirements. You do not need to come to the campus during your degree, and as a result, our master's students have been able to continue on with their degree programs completely uninterrupted because they haven't had to be on campus. When the campus reopens, of course, we're more than delighted to have you visit the campus and meet with us at that time. Faculty will be regularly communicating with you, and you will always know where you stand, and they'll be available to answer your question. It's not going to be radio silence at Capitol. When do you start? There's a great flexibility built into our graduate programs. Courses begin every 2 months. As a graduate student, you can apply and be accepted at any time. We have rolling application, rolling acceptance. The courses, as I mentioned, are 8 weeks long. They're offered 6 terms a year. After filing an application, you can begin your courses in the very next term. Here's the tuition and payments that we currently stand for the 2021 academic year at $630 per graduate credit. Keep in mind that these degree programs are typically between 30 and 39 credits. So you can do the math on that. If you are an active duty military individual, service in the U.S. military, we apply a dramatic discount to you, and it brings it down to $350 per credit hour. And then finally, if you're retired military, to honor those who have served, we offer a $100 discount or $530 per credit. I won't go into great detail about the Blue Ribbon program, but it is a unique program to Capitol. It basically says if something changes and your company, and many of our students are receiving some kind of financial aid through their company, if your company and your benefits are canceled, we'll still pay for 50% of that tuition for the course that you're attending so that you can complete that course. When you have finished your first 3 courses, you will be eligible for a $500 per class discount for your next 3 classes, a magnificent savings. And if you recommend someone to Capital, they apply, are accepted, and enrolled, you'll receive 1 free course. All of these things work together to help you to make this an affordable operation for yourself. Speaking of affordable, we encourage all students to complete a FAFSA if they're U.S. citizens, and the details are right here. Many of our students, are employed with companies that offer some type of employer sponsorship. We work with those companies every day and will help make you that as seamless process as possible. Also, as I mentioned, we're very military friendly. We'll work with you to capitalize on your VA payments and get the most value for your VA benefit dollars. This goes over some of the details having to do with federal financial aid. I will not cover these in detail now. They are on the slide, which you will receive a copy of, but they are available to you. This is important. The next step. We offer a free online application at the master's level. You need to do it at captechu.edu. You'll need your official bachelor's level transcript from a regionally accredited college or university or an international equivalent, a resume, a goal statement, and you'll have to get your transcripts, of course, sent. This last one is very important. There is no GRE, there is no GMAT that you have to take. We do not require those. We have other methodologies to determine your capabilities and qualifications to enter a master's program and do not need these. This is a huge break for a lot of people who have found one of those tests to be a stumbling block to them as they wanted to pursue graduate education. We're at the end of the presentation. Now I want to reopen the floor to our guests if they have any other additional comments. And again, if you have anything that you'd like to add, just type it into the text chat and we'll be happy to answer it. Okay, Samantha asks, are there technical requirements, laptop requirements for the TMBA? I'll turn that back over to Dr. Baker to answer that question.
Nothing beyond the normal laptop that you usually have, and the ability that we have to use the programming tools that Dr. Butler was talking about in the data analytics area, like programming in R, that sort of thing. But yeah, nothing that's out of the ordinary.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Any other questions? All right, we're right at the top of the hour. In fact, I have 2:02 right now, so I think that we'll go ahead and draw this to a conclusion. I'd like to thank all of our presenters for taking a Sunday afternoon to be joining us, as well as our guests. And as I mentioned, this session is being recorded, and the link to the recording as well as the slides will be sent out to everybody registered for this session today. There were a few who registered who were not able to join us, and we'll make sure that they get a link to the recording and the slides as well. Thank you very much, and on behalf of Capital Technology University, I wish you a happy Sunday and you enjoy the rest of your day. We are officially done, and you may log out at this time. Thank you.